This is the first page of Project 1. So we're given a sheet that details some employees' overtime pay, straight time pay, and total pay. We're asked to fill in a few missing pieces. So we have to use the context of what's given to us in this table to fill in what's missing. Take a look at A. Roth, for example. We need to find this person's rate, as in what they're paid hourly. Now, if you think about Lesson 1, one of the major equations that we used was that straight time pay, or just normal pay, is equal to our rate per hour multiplied by the number of hours that we worked. So that's useful in this case because if you see here, they've given us the number of hours that this person worked, and they've given us this person's straight time pay. So we have 2 out of 3 pieces of the information needed here, okay? Notice again, we're trying to solve for rate, and they've given us straight time pay, and they've given us the number of hours worked. So if I want to solve for rate, I can rearrange this equation. If I divide both sides by the number of hours worked, I get that my rate is just going to be equal to my straight time pay divided by my number of hours worked. And again, use this information given to you in the table to fill in those terms, and you'll be able to solve for rate. Similarly, if you look at L. Palma, we have to solve for overtime hours. We have to solve for overtime hours. So we would take our overtime equation and use it so that we were able to manipulate it to solve for hours. So if you remember, overtime is pretty similar to straight time pay in terms of the basis of the equation. So my overtime pay is going to be equal to my pay rate times my number of hours times, depending on the type of overtime, in this case times 1.5, we multiply by 1.5. So this person is making time and a half, okay? This person is making time and a half, so we multiply by 1.5. So here's my overtime pay equation. I'll take rate times hours times 1.5. I have to solve for hours. They've given me rate, so I can plug that in, and they've given me the overtime pay. I can plug that in. So I have to rearrange to solve for hours. So if I divide both sides of this equation by 1.5 rate, I'll find that my hours are equal to the overtime pay divided by 1.5 times my rate. And that's how I will solve for those hours. Alright, let's take a look at the other blanks that we haven't covered. So here you see one for overtime pay. Now you could use this standard overtime pay equation, right? Rate times hours times 1.5. And all the information has been given to you. So you know this person's rate, you know the number of overtime hours this person worked. There we go, this guy. You know the number of overtime hours this person worked. Notice that they worked 2 different types of overtime. So you could use all that to calculate overtime pay. However, it might be easier just to realize that our total pay is equal to straight time pay, I'm going to put ST, plus overtime pay, OT. So notice that in this case, they provided straight time pay, they provided the number for total pay. So again, I could rearrange my equation to solve for what I'm looking for. In this case, I'm trying to find overtime pay. So if I subtract straight time pay from both sides of the equation, I find that my overtime pay is equal to my total minus my straight time pay. Okay? Similarly, I could have rearranged that to solve for straight time pay. So again, since my total pay equals my straight time plus my overtime, if I wanted to solve for straight time, I could subtract overtime from both sides, and I would find that straight time is equal to total minus overtime. Finally, you have a very straightforward box. To find this total pay, all we'd have to do, once again, is take overtime and add it to our straight time pay. Okay, I know that was a lot of information in a small amount of time, but again, just use your equation reference sheet to help you out. And remember, all the information you need is on this table. There are no trick questions. Just use the equations you have and realize that you may need to rearrange them to solve for the particular term that you're looking for.